Hello, 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 and welcome, my Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. Welcome to your Path of True Love read for July 2020 or Timeless. I am your reader, Mark Angelo, Lyons, Mel for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of Drawing the Circle Productions, and very, very happy to be serving you today from the comfort of my living room. I got my Superman shirt on. Why? Because the Path of True Love is a hero's journey. So I'm carrying the theme for a day or two. I've got a lot of DC Comic and Marvel t-shirts, so we'll see what I wear. Let's keep going. My subscribers, welcome back. Thank you so much for helping me on my ongoing YouTube journey. Cranking out these readings as best as I can without burning out. So I truly do appreciate your support. But if you are new to the channel, please do consider liking the video, subscribing to my channel, hitting the notification bell, and commenting, because that helps get my work out there. Plus, I am putting out content pretty much every day. I mean, I've been taking some days off to catch up on house stuff, but I'm really enjoying myself, and I'm helping people. So I'm a Virgo. Go figure. Both ruled by Gemini. By Mercury, same diff. Still retrograde, but you know, here we are. Cool, cool. Let's get to work. This is a general read. Do take what resonates, leave what does not. Check your other signs. We're looking around 50 minutes. These are running. Some will be, I'm sure, more or less than that. Upload times are still ridiculous, but the guides wanted me to do something a little different this time. They wanted me to do the Path of True Love with a Celtic cross spread, which is a 10 position spread, but I'm doing 24 cards, so it's what I call an augmented or an extended Celtic cross, because the Path of True Love is your path. It's your spiritual path, your healing path, your hero's journey, right? Your romantic adventures, well, your relationship adventures, all through the lenses of your relationships, right? It's like your soul contracts, your soulmates, your twin flames, all that stuff. But ultimately, this reading is about you, right? About you becoming the true love that you truly are underneath it all. That relationships are the means through which our greatest lessons spiritually, our healing lessons, our healing challenges. So, you know, if other people pop up in the deck, we will address them. The court cards usually are, not always, but really get that this is about your healing path, month of July, or timeless, through the lenses of your relationships and your soul contracts. Cool, cool. That being said, I'm going to ask you to focus on your breath. The more you're able to do that, the more you will be in the present moment. Mutable air sign that you are. Changeable air, mutable air, Gemini is. So, you know, focus on your breath. Get into it a little bit. It'll keep you in the here and now. You'll be able to really sense what is direct to you, what makes sense to you, and kind of exhale what doesn't. Cool, cool. Let's do this. Take a nice deep breath. All the cards that I read are in the description box at the bottom. We're going to start with the Caroline Mace archetype deck to just get you one card to represent you, a person that you are dealing with, or a situation that you are dealing with on the Path of True Love for July 2020, and that will play itself out differently depending on who's watching this. But it will be sort of like a touchstone. We're going to come back to it a couple of times in the readings. Cool? Here we go. Nope. Okay, nice try. My collective pantheons. There you are, my collective pantheons, please. One card in clarity for the Gemini collective. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, masters, and the higher selves have all involved. There you all are. I had to say it before I could see, I guess. One card in clarity, please, to represent or to be the Gemini, or a person they are dealing with, or a situation they are dealing with on the Path of True Love for July 2020 or timeless. What is their dominant soul archetype, the dominant soul contract, the dominant soul whatever being alchemized from lead to gold on the Path of True Love for them? And we've got the Virgin archetype. Now, it's not what you think. It's not immediately about never having sex. But you can see where that would fit into this. The shadow attribute, all archetypes are light and shadow, lead and gold, toxic and healthy. It's all the scale. It's all the journey, right? How you get from one to the other. The shadow attribute, fear of intimate union. Now, intimate union, maybe not just with another person, right? Intimate union with the divine, intimate union with anything that would challenge the boundaries, right? The hymenic boundaries, so to speak, symbolically speaking, let's hope. The light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Now I will be honest with you, I do have a touch of the virgin archetype being a Virgo, and it doesn't necessarily manifest in my sex life or how I keep my home or things like that. Usually it manifests in the arts for me. Like, if someone sings off key, I want to rip my eyeballs out. Which probably better rip my ears out, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like there's just certain things. I don't consider myself a snob. I learned this from Carolyn Mace, whose deck this is, right? If there's a stick of butter and someone's already cut into it and there's like even one crumb on it, I'll go with that butter. It's a thing, right? So that symbolic purity, keep that in mind. Feel where you are on that scale, right? Are you really afraid of intimate union, right? Like avoiding it, like the vulnerability that would come with it. Or can you be in this place of really rediscovering and experiencing your own interior innocence, the innocence of your heart, the innocence of your soul, to begin again, right? To see things differently. Maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. That's a journey. It's just a journey for all of us to rediscover. That's a lot of work can go into that. But that's what the Path of True Love is for, right? So we're going to get one more card for you before we start doing the Celtic Cross. We are going to get you a Healing with the Angels Oracle. So who is the angel that's going to sort of like walk with you through the Path of True Love that you can call on and maybe should call on, although I don't like the word should. If you really, really wanted to, you could. Breathe. Hello, my angels and archangels. Can I please have one card for this Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the Path of True Love for July 2020 or timeless? They're looking at the virgin archetype within themselves, within somebody else. Maybe they've got some heavy-duty Virgo placement that's messing with them, light and shadow here somewhere. Or the situation itself, something about purity going on for sure. So what is the angel that would help them, that would help them heal with the Healing with the Angels Oracle? Study. Study. Learn, my darlings. Learn. Learn, learn. You're an air sign, an immutable air sign. So study doesn't mean you have to pick one subject and never deviate from it. Not for a Gemini. No, I'm an eclectic. I adopt the Wiccan read because I understand quantum physics, but I'm not Wiccan. Not anymore. I was. I went through the necessary procedures, but I'm not anymore, right? Sorry, I'm having circles and forests flashbacks. I'm back. So understand whatever your course of study is. Like even if this is not you but somebody else, right? To kind of study it, like learn from it, like a study in watercolors, right? You know, like observe it, take it in, allow the mind to play with it. They're giving me this image, and it's an okay image for Gemini, I suppose. A bee going from flower to flower to flower to flower to flower. Now, that certainly has a sexual connotation to it that may or may not apply here, and with the Virgin, I don't think that's probably going to go well. In that way, be a player. Don't hate the player, hate the game. There is this thing then of study. I see you kind of going like from here, I'm going to learn this, and getting different puzzle pieces from different, I guess, courses of study, different sources of information. Oh, courses and sources, that's them. To make this holographic puzzle make more sense. Okay. Okay, that was good. That's what they wanted to say. Let's do Daughters of the Moon Tarot. Now, what I'm going to do, first of all, is move those over there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pull them one at a time face down, okay? So we'll have all 10 of them laid out, and then I'm going to use the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack, P-A-C-K, Baby Love Pack. Love, baby, that's where it's at, to clarify. So I'm going to start then with the first card. I'll turn it over and I'll pick a clarifier. So you're really getting a double Celtic cross, which sounds illegal in certain states, but let's see what happens. Breathe. Oh, my gods and my goddesses. Sacred. Please. We're going to do the Celtic cross spread for this Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. So I'll call them out and pick them one at a time. Rather than top 10 cards, I'm going to take them one at a time. Ready? Here we go. My gods and goddesses, please. Celtic crossbred for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, July 2020 are timeless. What is the card that covers them on the path? What is the card that reveals what crosses them on the path? What is the core? What's going on at the core here on the path for them? What is behind them on the path? What crowns them? What's coming in to being sort of immediate future for them on the path? What's before them on the path? Okay, first 6 down, there's your cross. Let's get the staff. What is the lesson for this Gemini collective on the path? What does their path look like from the outside looking at, or horizontally, I should say? What is their destiny, their greatest hopes and fears? Their destiny being alchemized from fate, where they are on the hero's journey, and what is the outcome, possible, probable, considering timeline and lifetime. Let's do this. I got these ready to clarify with. We're going to clarify each of them. So let's see. Where are you? What is the card that covers you on the path of true love? Is a new beginning. Ace of Wands. Very phallic, right? If you look at the traditional Ace of Wands. But here we have the word creation, right? In the Daughters of the Moon Tarot. A real inspiration, creation, new life, new passion, new desire, new inspiration is what I'm getting in particular. This is why we're going to clarify. My Ascended Masters, hi, please. Chuck Spezzano Love Pack has 4 suits. The problem suit, which is half of the deck, literally stacked, half of the deck. The other 3 suits are Luck, Healing, and Grace. I think you'll like them. Let's see what you get, because it's good to know what the problem is and what the lucky stuff is, what the healing stuff is, and where the grace is. So here we go. All right. My Ascendant Masters, we've got the Ace of Flames here, the Ace of Wands. Can you please clarify that for this Aries collective? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love, July 2020 are timeless. What covers them? You have ignition, but you also have doubt. All right, so you probably are feeling a new passion, a new desire. I mean, that's understandable. It's okay to doubt. It's like this new, what is this feeling? So sudden and new. Every time I sing a song out of nowhere, I have to take a sip. Really, it's the only way I stay hydrated. That was maybe more element of water. This is element of fire. Like, there might be a strong attraction. There might be a strong inspiration, and it's okay to doubt. It's okay to doubt it, but don't let the doubt stop you from doing the wise thing. You know, there is a difference between intuitive discernment and fear. It's just different, right? So doubt, is that doubt coming from something doesn't feel right here, or is it but what if, right? So that's the spectrum on that, and that's going to play differently for different people. What is the situation that you're in? Either the person you're dealing with, the situation, the environment, and you got the Sagittarius card. Now, this does not necessarily have to mean a Sagittarius sun sign. And how many people know their moon, rising, and Venus signs? Not a lot. I'm going to tell you, not as many as you'd like, but everybody knows their sun sign. So that being the case, we are going to look at that. What does that really mean? It's either someone in your life who has Sagittarian qualities, right? Spiritual, perhaps. Sagittarian is an expansive sign ruled by Jupiter. It's definitely spirituality, journeys, right? Like Capricorn's more long journeys. Sagittarius is it's the archer, so it's mutable fire, rapid desire. This could be a very, very passionate thing. If this is somebody manifested in your life, I do feel like they've got some kind of spiritual bend there, but let's have a look-see. My masters, please clarify this Sagittarian card here that crosses this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign, July 2020 are timeless. Very trustworthy. There's an issue of trust here, perhaps, but very trustworthy. This is someone that you can trust, and I feel like it's because of not just their ethics necessarily, but I get this sort of expansive quality. Now, I will say, Sagittarius is the opposite sign of Gemini. So a complementary opposite, not fire and water, air and fire. So there's a good balance there. But if you're having your doubts about this, it's not about their trustworthiness. They are trustworthy. Do they trust you? I don't know, but they are definitely trustworthy. What's going on at the root of this, at the core of this? Three of Pentacles. We have a stable beginning here. It feels like you two know each other. I am going to call this as a relationship path of true love. I mean, yes, could also be about where you are on the path right now. You're learning to trust the divine, but there are other cards that could have said that much clearer. This really feels like you need to know that you can trust this person. You can free fall. I mean, there's a parachute. They're going to catch you. They're going to be there for you. Just get that feeling. Because what you have is the Three of Pentacles. I love this. This is my favorite card in this whole deck. I know it's only the Three of Pentacles, but it's Clay Woman. Clay Woman. She takes the dirt beneath her feet and makes something beautiful and practical. But this is at the 3 stage. You see can you see it? It's on this side. Do you see the kiln, right? It hasn't been fired yet, what she's working on, so it hasn't been concretized, so it's still mutable, right? And you're mutable air, and Sagittarius is mutable fire. This you could consider mutable earth if you like Virgo. And remember, you do have that Virgin card there too, so maybe there's a lot of mutability. Like a lot of mutability going on here, but there's a big soul lesson in place here for you. It's kind of fascinating. I'm digging this reading a lot. Let's see what that Three of Pentacles is. It's really like getting your, like in a physical sense, like getting your feet wet, I guess, or your fingers, getting your hands dirty, rolling up your sleeves, getting into it. I mean, when I originally learned it as, whoopsie, let's not do that. Like you have the butter and the eggs and the flour and the sugar and all the ingredients, but it ain't cake, right? You have to combine it and put it all together and then put it in the oven. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going on here, except with dirt, not food. So please clarify, my Ascended Masters, what's going on because this does feel very much like a relationship spread suddenly. So please, can you clarify what's going on with this Three of Pentacles? Falling in love. It feels like you two have already started falling in love, but something went, or you're together and you're falling in love. You can trust this person. You can trust them. I know you have your doubts, and that's why you're at the beginning of this. I wonder if you've danced before. Yeah, well, for some of you, again, it's not going to be for everybody in the quantum field here, but you're having your doubts because you danced with this person before. Horizontal mambo, but you've danced with this person before, but there was this like falling in love thing that has been, I guess you could say, at the core of it, that it's not out yet. It's at the core. It's foundational. May even be repressed on one or both sides here, but nonetheless, that falling, it feels like there may be some avoidance of it, but you've already fallen for each other. But you have your doubts because this feels like a reboot. The learner. Okay, so you've learned some stuff on the path recently. Now, recently can be this past year, right? It certainly, I think we've all learned things in the past 6 months, you think? About ourselves, about our relationships, about what's important, about what isn't, right? Like, does anybody really care? Do you really care what anybody thinks of you at this point, right? After all we've all been through, all of our differences really should not be as highlighted as what unites us, right? So it feels like you've learned a lot of stuff here. Now, my guides are saying, by the way, not for everybody will this play out as a romantic thing, but with that falling in love thing there, I mean, I could fall in love. I mean, I could fall in love with my kitty cats, not in a romantic way, you know what I mean? Let's see, what's going on with this learner here? I mean, it's the Eight of Pentacles. It's a hard-working card, so this was something that you must have had to endure. Can you clarify this, my masters? Yeah, a fear of inadequacy. I'm not good enough. Now, that's not saying that you learned that you're not good enough, but that was part of the lesson. The soul lesson is really either you or somebody else. I'm feeling it might be you, because you're a Gemini. You can feel both ways in one day. You can think, I'm great, I'm amazing, I'm the tits. And then, a half hour later, it's like, oh, nobody loves me, everybody hates me because I'll go eat worms, right? So fear of inadequacy. I am not good enough. Now, everybody has that. Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. It's like in the first chapter or so, I think. It's a long time ago. She says that is the core fear that everybody has. I'm not good enough, right? Everybody has that. And yes, it's part of the ego, which is the incubating part of the soul, right? It hasn't awoken yet. It's still in its seed phase. It hasn't put down roots in a shoot and blossomed just yet. I guess you have to bud first. Quiet bud. Alice in Wonderland. I hear garbage men. Well, I'll pause it if we need to, because it comes right outside my window. What's crowning is the card of the dreamer, the fool. In between the old and the new, what's coming is something's wrapping up, because you are getting into that place of in between the old cycle and the new. The Fool is not the first card of the major arcana. It's in between the first and the last. The last and the first, I should say. There's a leap of faith here that you are being asked to make. Have you really learned that underneath your fear of adequacy, that you are a divine being? Have you really learned that relationships are not here to make you happy? Relationships are here to help you learn and heal and grow and to be the happiness you truly are. Easier said than done. That's why it's called the Path of True Love, not the weekend workshop of true love. Although someday I would like to do weekend workshops on the Path of True Love, but, nowhere with an open bar nearby. Those would get messy. Breathe. My Ascended Masters, please clarify this card of the Fool, the Dreamer, for this Gemini Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Delight! Groove is in the heart. Oh, I did it right. The Dreamer. The Dreamer with delight. I think that you have fallen for this person, but that you have held yourself back. Why? You talked yourself out of it. Gemini, you talked yourself out of it, but that has been part of your study and your learning. Because yes, going back again, said we're going to come back to this card, this Virgin thing, that you might feel like you're not good enough because your ideal of the person you are dealing with is unrealistic. Or your ideas of the person, the Sagittarius, perhaps might be a little unrealistic. You might have a picture in your mind. You might have, what's called deifying them, which is hard not to do once the endorphins and the dopamine hits when you fall in love. You're seeing through the eyes of God or spirit, or through the eyes of spirit. We could use that, right? And you're seeing their soul, right? So that's the divine part of ourselves. So it's understandable you deify somebody, and that it's not that the soul goes away. It's just that the clouds roll in again, right? The fears come back in again. There's a jump here if you want to take it, and it feels delightful, although I could see with your doubts you clinging to the side of that cliff, so to speak. What comes? What's before you on the path? Eight of Cups, withdrawal. Now here's the thing about this card. People will so often call it walking away, right? And I understand that. Certainly in most tarot decks it does look that way. But in this deck it's not that. This woman has taken a boat to an island, following a trail of cups, some upright, some spilt, to go into a cave, to go into herself. That there is a time of healing. Now, I have to say the Eight of Cups has been rather busy these past 6 months in readings because everybody's been sequestered. Such a good word. So let's look at this, because you can also withdraw with somebody. So perhaps there is this jump, and then the two of you withdraw together. Right? Could be. Let's have a look. Breathe. God, this can play itself out so many different ways. It's so weird being clairvoyant, because here, I'll just give you this quick, because you might enjoy this. So whatever's going on here, it's like all these fiber optic threads, I guess you want to call them, fibers, coming together and then going into these infinite scenarios. So to try and track them all is impossible, but to get the general theme here, I can feel it. So my Ascended Masters, please clarify this Eight of Cups. What is before the Aries Collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? July 2020 are timeless with this card of withdrawal. I get it. Feels more like pulling into themselves, but maybe with somebody else, because you got the luck card of enjoyment. This feels like not getting out of bed for a few days in a good way. This feels like getting to know each other on a deeper, more intimate, emotional, because it's enjoyment, not like, let's clean the house, right? Brother Bosco, why'd you torch the house? I was laughing at me. Really, 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 really great cross. I mean, your past, present, future, I get it. I get it. Your fear of inadequacy, I'm not good enough standing in the way. It's causing you doubts right now, but you can trust this person, whoever this Sagittarian, ninth house, whatever kind of vibe they are. I mean, it's Ceridwen, the goddess of the cauldron, the goddess of transformation. This person's into the mutable fire of things changing, and you're a Gemini, so the two of you could really transform very quickly, which is not always so pleasant. So let's look, what's your lesson here? You're in indecision. Two of Flames. Two of Wands is indecision because decisions are fire-based. It's willpower, throat, spit, chew, or swallow, right? What are you going to do on that, right? Two of Flames, I don't know, I want this, but I want this, but I want this, but I want this, but I want this, and I want this. So let's look at that. What is this lesson? Keep in mind, the angel of study, right? The angel of study. Does this have to be a certain way before you leap? Take a look at that from the Virgin's point of view. Are you really, really starving yourself for something? Being a stickler? Stickler? I don't use that word. Stickler? Are you being a stickler? Stickler's mom? Please, my Ascended Masters, can you clarify this Two of Flames for the Aries Collective, sorry, for the, there's so much fire, for the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love. What is their lesson here? Oh, naivete. Oh, the problem, you see, my dear, is naivete. That, and which would come with the Virgin archetype to an extent, that my sense is that you've been naive before, and you've been burnt horribly, hence the lessons and the fear of inadequacy. I mean, naivete and the fear of inadequacy do kind of go together, if you think of it, right? Like, I was so naive, I'm so stupid, right? Like, which would cause you doubt in the present moment. With this exciting new beginning that actually feels really good, and really they gave you, there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of passion, but there's also trust here. You can trust this person. You can trust this person, but I get you're afraid of making a naive decision, which I get. I get it. The course of true love never did run smooth, but it also can't play out any other way. You're going to make the decision you're supposed to make and experience that quantum timeline of this lifetime. From the outside looking in, how the world sees this is deception. From the outside looking in of where your path is right now, you're keeping stuff on the down low, pretty heavy duty. Now, that's one thing to keep things private. That to me is not deception, because you can just say to somebody, sorry, I'm not ready to talk about that right now, or sorry, that's private. This feels like something sketchy is going on here. Now, it's odd because the Four of Blades is usually a card of contemplation and meditation, and that may be true here as well from the outside looking in, particularly with the indecision and the doubt going on here. But this type of deception, because it literally says it on the card here, really does indicate that you need to look within yourself. You're lying to yourself about something, probably how you feel about this Sagittarian, I would think, because you're doubting about the validity of something here. And if this were a private reading, I would go in on this reading to get you more information about this Sagittarian, but I can't because I need a specific name and their actual sun sign is hopeful. But I can never get information for somebody if I don't have their permission, but I can read their energy in your field. Ethics. Breathe. My Ascended Masters, please clarify this Four of Blades, this deception card from the outside looking in for this Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. What is this deception about, if you don't mind? Yeah, cynicism. Well, you know, it's not going to work. What I love about this card, and it just cracks me up every single time, is that there's a couple canoodling on a bench down at the bottom, and there's a woman emptying, obviously, her office trash can onto them. I love that image. It's just like, because it's not like banana peels. It's just like, you know, wadded up pieces of paper, right? I just love that. She's just like, Karen's not having a good day. Right? So cynical. You're so cynical. But you know what? Cynicism in its proper place can be very healthy, right? So I'm not going to call that a 24/7 problem. I think in a world where there's so much lies and illusions and deceptions, and maybe that's something you need to look at. Were you deceived and now you're cynical? And as a result, you're deceiving yourself with cynicism. I won't say it's a forever catch-22. So like Forever 21, forever catch-22. Just never stop shopping. Just keep an eye on your cynicism with here, because the Virgin, I should say, archetype, kind of know, right? Fear of intimate union. You're using your doubt, your fear of inadequacy, right? And this belief that you're naive. You're not naive, you're cynical. Well, you're cynical because, oh gee, you made a mistake on the path of true love? Who hasn't? Learning curve. Learn from your mistakes. Study. Now I love this card. This is destiny, not fate. It indicates where you are on the hero's journey. The hero is handed fate, and they take the journey, they grow, they heal, they learn, they evolve, and they manifest their destiny. But my darling, where you are on the path right now is the moon. Do not expect mental clarity. Do not expect mental clarity. You're being asked to go not necessarily with your feelings and your emotions, which change like weather and bloat. This is about your intuition. Oh, we're getting a clarifier on this to be sure. But I can feel that. I mean, I want to look. Do you have any other major arcana cards here? So far, the only other major arcana card you have here is the Dreamer. And with that card of delight, certainly it's a luck card, by the way, that delight, that is something that you feel, that this is very, very delightful. And can you, Sebastian? He was sniffing my orchid a little too close. I actually have an orchid. I'm talking about a plant. I'm not being metaphoric for once. Okay, he's been good. Let's clarify this. Nice deep breath. Oh, if you're new to my channel, I have 3 black cats. The oldest one is named Sebastian. It's just talking to his spirit guide to stay away from the flowers. Breathe. Although with me, I probably do have to explain that. My Ascended Masters, please. 1 card in clarity. Will you please clarify this moon card in their destiny position for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign? What's that about? What's that card? If you can give clarity about a card of confusion. Oh, got the Grace card of joy. This is good. This is really, really good. Really, follow your joy. There's not a bliss card in this deck, so I guess I can say follow your joy on this one. Joseph Campbell, bless your heart wherever you are. Bless your soul. I adore you. He's got to be one of my spirit guides. I know too much about this stuff without having, it all memorized. That just feels so lovely. Really, the moon with joy. You're afraid. I get it. You're afraid. And look, don't rush into something you're not ready for, right? And that's why even this card of the 8 of Cups, to pull back a bit. Now, by the way, you've got the 8 of Pentacles in the past and the 8 of Cups in the future. You could be in a stalled place right now. And I think that's why they're kind of saying, if you take this leap towards this Sagittarian, is my feeling, with trust, right? A leap of faith. That the two of you, I feel like nobody else will know you're together for a while, that you will withdraw together. It doesn't have that womp womp feel. You know what I mean? Womp womp, Debbie Downer. It doesn't have that feeling to it. And with the moon card, with joy in your destiny position, this feels good. Outcome. Let's see what your outcome is. Come here. Well, if you're not a Virgo, somewhere you got the card of criticism. The 9 of Blades, not a bad card for an outcome. I mean, I know if you look at the Rider-Waite, ready, here's Rider-Waite, 9 of Swords. I can't sleep. But this is about focus, right? Where did she go? Did I put her back? Where did I put her? Have I lost my mind? Did it fly across the room? Oh no, there it is. Okay, sorry, I was just laying on top of another one. Sorry. Yeah, so you see how all the arrows are pointed inward there, right? Like both mouths are sort of like, huh? Right? They're not necessarily comedy or tragedy, but it's not just getting to the heart of things like a card of focus. Critical means that there is a deep turn inward, a deep introspection going on here, perhaps for both of you, but it feels like you're going to get to the core, not just to the heart of the matter, to the core of something in particular, most likely belief-oriented, because again, I'm looking at what are the problem cards here. Literally, that say problem on them, right? Fear of inadequacy, doubt, naivete, and cynicism. They're all sort of element of air-based, right? I mean, even naivete, it's like you're just thinking, right? So let's get some clarity, my Ascended Masters, please. One card in clarity. What's the outcome here? Projected potential outcome for this Aries collective. Aries, I keep saying that. For this Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign on the path of true love, July 2020 or timeless. Please clarify that 9 of Blades. Fear of commitment. Fear of commitment. Now that's understandable, but get the fear of commitment probably has nothing to do with that Sagittarian energy at all. Like, this person's outside the box. I could get that. Most Saggies are. I mean, again, person does not have to have any planets in Sagittarius to represent this energy in your life. But definitely a free spirit, I could tell that. And they're used to jumping off cliffs. It terrifies the crap out of you for some reason. So fear of commitment there. So, but that's good. That's a good to be continued. And then Gemini focused on their fear of commitment and the roots from whence it came, right? Very, very cool, helpful reading. Helpful in terms of, that's something to look at, right? You get 2 more cards down. One is going to be a Whisper of Love from the Whisper of Love Oracle, the higher selves of all involved. So not just your higher self, the higher selves of all involved here. Now, they are reminding me to say this, that virgin archetype we started with may be you, but may be someone else, may be this Sagittarius, may be the overall thing, that we want to do this very clearly, and that's why the deception part of it's not great from the outside looking in, unless it's really trying to protect the symbolic purity of what's going on here. Tricky. It's just that it's crossed with cynicism there. So let's ask the higher selves. Hello, higher selves of all involved. Please, one card in clarity for the Gemini collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love. Dealing with this virgin archetype, July 2020 or timeless. Please, what is the piece of insight, the piece of inspiration, the piece of guidance and grace from the higher self collective? Speak the language of love. Mon cher. Speak the language of love. Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. That's for you. Gemini, your 3rd house, your communication, your self-expression. There's no question about that. You got to bust a move, dude. You want this Saggy, the Sag whatever, the Corona Flame Sagittarius energy here, you're going to have to take the plunge. You're going to have to step off the cliff. Most of us don't find our wings until we do. Clinging to the... You want to be a cliff clinger? Cliff clinger sounds like totally a name. Totally sounds like a name. Yeah, I dated Cliff Clinger. He's great. Not very spontaneous. Interesting. Let's get your last card down. Of course, a Healing Mantra deck card from the Healing Mantra deck. How nice of Matt Kahn to name it that way. By the way, there are some links in the description box below. One of them is from Matt Kahn, talking about soulmates, twin flames, soul contracts, all that kind of stuff. Go check it out. There's some cool links in the description box below. Ready? Ascended Masters? Okay. Breathe. Gemini, there's so much going on here. My Ascended Masters, you who gave us all these clarifying cards, please, can you give us the perfect healing mantra for this Gemini collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs on the path of true love for July 2020 or timeless, please? What is the mantra that will most help them heal, that they can take and run with and use in their brilliant, mutable air minds to help them heal for their well-being, the well-being of their soul contracts, and for the well-being of all in the quantum singularity? Awakening inspired action. There is only what life is asking of me. There is only what life is asking of me. This is very much about being in the present moment. This is very much about being in the present moment. This mantra, I'm pretty sure I've gotten it a handful of times because it's awakening inspired action, not that anticipation of, well, if that happens, then I'll do this. And that's just trying to avoid your lessons. That's like trying to cut school. Night strategy. Not that I didn't do it. Oh, I was hell on earth when I was a teenager. That's why the nickname Mal arose from that. Anybody who knows me back then. And it was the 80s. Thank God there were no cell phones with cameras. Polaroids, though. Easy to destroy. This is just a really, really interesting thing. You are going to have to bust the move on this one. If you want to talk divine masculine, divine feminine, you're going to have to pull a divine masculine. You're going to have to pull a yang and at least speak up a little bit, right? Let your feelings be known. Awakening inspired action. There's only what life is asking of me, like jumping off the cliff of the Fool and all that jazz. When you awaken inspired action, you are an open, willing participant in your soul's journey, right? So you get, this isn't about anything other than my soul's journey, not just this relationship, life and journey, in toto. You are ready, willing, and able to face any feeling for an air sign, or make any necessary change just for the chance to serve the cosmic plan of the universe, because there are perks to deliberately serving the cosmic plan of the universe. Like, you don't get your head smacked up against the riverbank so much because you're going with the flow. When inspired action has been awakened, you radiate higher frequencies of light for the well-being of all. This mantra is ideal for overcoming self-sabotage, which is kind of sort of written all over this spread, resolving boredom, and increasing fulfillment. Awakening inspired action. There is only what life is asking about me. So you get, okay, what is life asking of me? Because that is the only action I need to take, and I can do it in an inspired fashion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a picture of the whole spread, and I'll see what else comes to me. Cool? You ready? Nice deep breath. Magic clap. We start off with the Virgin archetype here, the shadow attribute, fear of intimate union. Maybe something might be revealed if that happens that you want to keep hidden. Light attribute, hence that deception card, got it. Light attribute, maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. Really wanting to be a good person, wanting to be clear about this if this is you or the person that you are dealing with here, this Sagittarian, or maybe the whole relationship has sort of a virgin flavor or quality to it, touched for the very first time today. Let's look at your cover card, which represents you here, is the card of creation, the Ace of Flames, which would be the Ace of Wands, with the card of doubt. So there's probably a reignition of something here, because you got that falling in love, the Three of Pentacles already in the core here. Feels like you two know each other, you've danced together one way or another. And the situation that you are in, what crosses your path here, is your only court card in the whole spread. So we're looking at a Sagittarius is crossing your path here, one that you can trust. One, and that is a healing card, the suit of trust. The suit of healing, the trust card there. So you really have a huge opportunity here with this Sagittarian here to expand, right? To experience new things. And element of fire, this could be very sexual. This could be very sensual, very passionate, but also very creative. Like, particularly because you have that card of creativity. inspiration. Like this person you can trust them with your creativity. They're not going to steal your ideas and take credit for them, but they might actually add fire and inspiration to your creativity, because there is a solid foundation here, a mutable foundation, clay, but that could really be firmed up here in terms of you falling in love with each other. I just think that there's a denial that you've already fallen in love with this person. It's not that you can't fall in love or you've never fallen in love. You just don't want to because you are afraid. You have those doubts from the fear of inadequacy in the past. You really learned, or you're still in the process of learning a harsh lesson. Remember, you've got that card of study, the angel here helping you. So I think that really comes in with that card of the learner, that it's time for you to learn from your past and get that your past need not equal the present and the future. That it feels like you're being given a slate here with that card of the dreamer, the fool, with delight crowning. Like, you can say no to this. Like, you can be a cliff clinger if you want. You know, you can put this off and put this off and put this off, but it feels like the moment is now, or damn close to it, right? There is a delight here. There is something welcoming you forward. It's almost like you just have to take that one step off the cliff, and the angels themselves will catch you and take you higher, not drop you, right? But that's a trust issue. I get it. I totally get that. It's such a risk nowadays to even be emotionally vulnerable, let alone leave your house. But then there is this lovely Eight of Cups, which I don't use those words, this lovely Eight of Cups with that card of enjoyment, that it feels like as you make this plunge, as you withdraw together, maybe you do keep your relationship a secret out of, or keep it deceptive out of cynicism. You want to keep it out of people's social media, right? Like, you're cynical about what people are going to say or what they're going to do, maybe because of past situations or tribal family connections, societal disagreements, what have you. But I jumped ahead a bit there from the outside looking in, the Four of Blades. But with that enjoyable withdrawal, your lesson is going to really be here about once that happens, it feels like once you really get into that decision of now, do I jump all the way? Do I commit here? Because you got that fear of commitment in your outcome card, but in your lesson is that indecision. The Two of Flames. It's fire in your hands, right? Well, do I want to do this or do I want to do that, right? Both may feel equal, but there's this problem of naivete, that you're not necessarily seeing this through mature eyes. Now, that's not shade. That can be as a result of unfinished business from the past, particularly fear of inadequacy, that maybe the truth is you are completely adequate, but you doubt yourself. You doubt that good things can happen for you, and that is what I call a negative naivete, where some people are like, oh, it doesn't matter, no matter what I do, the angels will always catch me. You know, those people can still get hurt in this world in all sorts of different ways, because the angels are like, you gotta learn, right? But there is that other fearful side of it, the negative naivete of like, nothing good ever happens to me, and meanwhile you're surrounded by miracles. So it's not seeing through rose-colored glasses, it's seeing through a glass darkly, which seems to be a theme in these readings, I just realized. Okay, like I said, from the outside looking in, you've got this Four of Blades, the deception, but there's some internal focus, more introspection. But maybe that can be you really taking the time to see where you are on the path of true love, is about really looking at your cynicism and understanding it's coming from untreated pain within yourself. That inner child, which can be so playful and so innocent and so forgiving and so virginal, right? The innocence of your heart is still hasn't gotten over its cynicism. So it's either cynicism causing deception, or you're kind of trying to hide your cynicism. There's a lot. That's one of those cards. There's a lot going on. Can mean so many things for so many people watching this. But your destiny here is Yemaya, the moon, with joy. It's like your soul is saying, will you please stop overthinking this and just love and just enjoy this? You've got enjoyment and joy right next to each other. I didn't even see that, right? You've got the enjoyment in the 6th position. You've got joy in the 9th. That's pretty much a lineup with delight right before it as well, that this is worth your while. But at the end of the reading, at least, 9 of Blades, you're probably going to have some sleepless nights about this one, really examining, going deep on your fear of commitment. Obviously, you've committed before and you were lied to, deceived, right? You've got deception going on there. All seems to be tied into this quantum knot, but remember The path of true love is not about you getting what you want. It's about you learning, healing, growing, and evolving. So what does the higher self say? Speak the language of love. You have to speak up. If you do not communicate yourself, don't expect to get what you want ever, right? And you're Geminis. Express yourself. Go listen to the Madonna song over and over and over, and maybe that will help, right? Loving words have the power to change someone's life, including your own. And I feel like you're going to change this Sagittarian's life, but you can trust them. They're not going to turn you away. They're not going to turn you away. They might say, I need to process this, but they're not going to turn you away. Because what do you need to do? You need to awaken your inspired action. There's only what life is asking of me. And it does look like life is asking you to love, is asking you to enjoy, is asking for you to really look at your issues of commitment, your issues of self-esteem that everybody has on the path of true love, and really bring it into that purity, that maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit, to let go of the past. And it couldn't have happened any other way. You have the ability now to move forward with inspired action, allowing your soul to manifest through you with every choice and decision you make, understanding there's only what life is asking of you. Yeah, and it's asking you to evolve and jump. That was really wordy. But you're Geminis, and Mercury's retrograde. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't it be? So may the Gemini Collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need on the path of true love for July 2020, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may enjoy themselves, that they may jump off the cliff, that they may get over in the right timing that pain. Like, I never tell people, just get over it. Yeah, they have to take their pain. So may they heal, may they grow. May they learn their lessons here so that they can experience the true emotional joy that it feels like this falling in love can give to them. And they don't need to know what to do moment by moment. So my gods, my goddesses, my angels, my masters, please bless them with awakening inspired action, because there's only what life is asking of them, that they may heal, they may grow, they may learn, they may become the best they can be and fulfill their roles in the divine plan for the well-being of all. So mote it be. And so it is. Thank you so much for watching. Please do consider liking, subscribing, hitting the notification bell, and comment if this resonates for you, because I like to know. Otherwise, I'm kind of just sitting here talking to a camera in my dining room. That being said, wishing you the very, very best and the very blessed of it all, my Gemini dears, because you are truly outrageous gems. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. Hail, farewell, and blessed, blessed be.